I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
Hello, everybody. Oops, the podcast on the eve of a nice hot summer, hopefully. It's looking like it's going to be. I'm joined, as usual, by the founder of the successful pizza business, Ryan Lynch's Pizza Pie.
LLC shop.
LLC shop / store / money laundering operation.
Yes.
He has been lifting thousands of pounds of weights and drinking thousands of calories, and it is paying off. The guy's looking swole. And, make sure you don't bump into him at the beach bar this summer. Ryan Lynch, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Julia. What an intro.
What's going on?
It is almost summer. When I was walking by here today, one of your neighbors came out. He was 8. And he said...
He was 8.
He was 8. Maybe younger. And he said... And I over here, as I take my AirPods out, "Good morning, tree!" And the mom is like, come on. He's like, I had to say good morning to the tree.
That's really cute. I still do that, by the way.
And then he said, "It's hot." And that's kind of my inner dialogue going on in my brain all the time.
Hi, tree. It's hot. Yeah, me too, dude.
That's as simple as I think most of the time.
I like that, dude. That's good.
I wish those are simple times.
Sometimes you just got to think simple out here. And it's the little things that keep us happy, you know? Saying hello to trees. I think Rick Rubin is often seen doing similar things, saying hello to trees.
Yeah.
I was watching some interviews of his last night.
Rick Rubin,
who is...
I'm going to look him up because I have no idea.
He is I guess he's a producer. He sort of seems to be involved in any and all of the successful music out there. A lot of hip hop. People are dying to get him in the studio to give his opinion. And I think he's formerly a producer on a lot of records too. I mean, there's some famous videos of him like in the studio for 99 Problems, and he's worked with Pharrell, and he's worked with rock bands, and this guy is the man. He wrote some book called The Artist's Way that a lot of comedians really love. He may have written other things as well. Just very philosophical, chill guy, super sort of artsy fartsy, clearly believes it. And it's just really interesting. And hearing what he has to say is inspiring, but also I'm kind of like, all right, what's the deal here? Is this one of those situations where you just like drink your own Kool-Aid and it works? Or, is there also depth and substance to it? The latter must be true to some extent because the proof is in the pudding. I mean, this guy has been involved in so many huge projects with huge artists for decades, starting in the 80s when he was at NYU. But how does one get started on that path? You know what I mean? Like, are you just so confident out of the gate? You know what I mean? And that it kind of allows you to partake in these conversations. Like, do you have to believe that you can have these conversations in order to start having them to begin with? You know what I mean? It's like a chicken or the egg thing. Or maybe was he sheepish and shy and doubted himself and grew into what he is now? So
I'm just looking at the photos of him, and he's in the studio sitting next to... all the like Kendrick Lamar, Pharrell, like you mentioned.
Jagger.
And these are the types of photos that you see in a documentary. And that in itself validifies his existence as like an influential person. Just these pictures. Like this looks like an important photo.
Agreed.
Like it looks like he's like doing stuff.
He has a cool
I'm
aesthetic.
sold.
He kind of looks like Hagrid.
It is giving Hagrid.
It's giving Hagrid. Let us not overlook the fact that Lynch just combined two words very seamlessly. I don't know if anybody caught that. Validifies. A combination of validates and solidifies.
I think that is a word.
Validifies. Let's see here.
Validity, validify. I just make up words.
Dude,
you get it.
It fully worked, Ryan. As long as you're... It's better.
No, it's not a word.
It's better to make words up than to use them wrong, in my opinion. You actually did something very clever, Ryan. You took two words and you made them into one, which I'm sure Rick Rubin is doing all the time.
Yeah, we just need a photo. We need someone to take a photo of you and me talking on the podcast and sharing a laugh, put it in black and white, and put it on the internet.
Well, I got into a little bit of a wormhole, and this thing popped up, and it's fun to hear the stories behind some of your favorite stuff sometimes. There's this band called System of a Down. Are you familiar with them?
No.
I don't even know what genre I would put them in. It's kind of like a metal band, I guess. They're these Armenian dudes from LA. The lead vocalist, this guy Serge Tankian, is a pretty gifted vocalist in my opinion. And I think that kind of sets him apart. And I think the people in the community tend to agree. I was looking on Reddit yesterday. Anyway, there's this song called Chop Suey, which is one of their famous songs. And there's a part of the song, I think it's the bridge, where, and a lot of the time they say the System of a Down's lyrics is like a combination of like politics and stuff that makes no sense, which I'm completely fine with. Mm-hmm. But at one point in this song, there's this part that I didn't really understand the significance, but Rick Rubin explains that they were trying to make the song and they were kind of wrapping up the session for the day. And he's like, I don't know what to say at this part. And Rick Rubin was like, well, I don't have a suggestion. He was talking about this on Rogan. And he's like, well, let's do this. Grab one of those books, open a page, point, and whatever it says, make it out of that.
And what is?
And bro, it is like one of the most iconic parts of the song. Let's play it.
All right, everyone listen to this, and then we will be back after. And we're back. Rock is, I'm starting to listen to more rock. I enjoyed that a lot.
So what was the time codes for that? So maybe we should include that so that people don't have to like listen to the whole song.
You want to start listening around a minute 57.
You start listening around a minute 57 through the part where he's talking about self-righteous suicide.
I think
You guys got a great voice, right?
yeah, he has a great voice. It makes sense that that they kicked ass because every good band has somebody kooky in it.
Oh yeah, as you would say, it's giving the guy from it's giving Wes Borland from Limp Bizkit. Look him up. I'm hitting Lynch with a ton of person references right now. His Gen Z brain is exploding.
Limp Bizkit. Is this Limp Bizkit?
That's
is
Fred
Limp
Durst.
Bizkit the band?
That is the band. That's Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit. But you need to look up Wes Borland.
Wes Borland.
No, you need like an OG pic of him.
I see. This guy?
Yes.
Covered himself in
the guy
paint.
he would wear black contact lenses and paint himself all sorts of crazy things.
That's pretty cool.
Shout out to Chris Bull, who introduced me to System of a Down, by the way. I was a big fan for a moment there.
Wow. I'm going to start playing this song going into the weekend. I'm going to an Armenian wedding.
Oh, I forgot you're going to an Armenian wedding, bro. You're trying to like relate to people. You're like, hey, System of a Down, huh?
Oh, of course, System of a Down.
I mean, people talk about Kim K, but what about Serge Tankian?
Dude, I'll bring my flashcards out. I'll start practicing.
I went to a baptism over the weekend for a cousin. A cousin's child.
Okay.
So I guess that would be my something. I don't know. Hillary knows about the whole chart. First cousin once removed. Or something. Second cousin. I don't know. Anyway. She chose to be baptized. I think she's 7 years old, 6 or 7. And she's like, I want to get baptized. Her parents are like, all right, that's so nice. And we're in the church and they did the baptism, et cetera, et cetera. But as I looked around the church, I noticed that there was a bit of an aging population at the church, Lynch. Mm-hmm. The choir were very nice and sweet. They were getting up there in age. And some of the sort of random members of the community who happened to be there were appearing to be old as well. And then there were these two young families whose all the kids now are getting baptized. I don't know to what degree it's a sort of fun, popular trend in school, or they are just an enlightened bunch. And so anyway, so these kids are really doing the church a great service by bringing some young families into the mix. But I wonder what the future looks like. And they're doing a thing where it's like a progressive church. I think some of these Episcopalian or whatever. Some of these churches are a little more laid back and chill, and there's a minister who's married, and they're accepting of all groups, and we'll see how that all goes for them moving forward if they're able to keep getting new members and stuff. Interesting.
Do you think they just plant the old people, or do they actually have any relation to the people that are getting baptized?
No, I think
like
the
background actors.
I left out some important information. The baptism occurs during the normal Sunday Mass, it appears.
Interesting. Religion is it's one of those topics that just makes me feel fuzzy in the wrong ways. Mm. It's just a little overwhelming.
That's not good, right?
It's just a little confusing, and
You went to you had communion and stuff, right?
Yeah, I did all that stuff.
And you went to Sunday school?
Yeah, that stuff was forced down my throat, not to my parents' fault. It's just how it was. So much so that in a rebellious state, I just have no interest in spending my free time going to church.
Right.
That's just how it is.
Yeah. Sometimes that's just how it is.
And I bet that is how it is for a lot of people my age. And it does raise the question as to whether or not I'm going to prioritize those things with my future children, and if other people are going to prioritize that with their children. And I feel like the church is going to be a lot less of a part of the next generation's life.
So this is the one thing I'll say. They do say, and this appears to be true, that as you get older, your relationship with religion tends to improve.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. You're getting older, you know what I mean? Your mortality is a little more tangible, and you start to kind of think about it more. So I wonder to what degree there will, like, groups of our peers that appear to have no interest in religion will shift toward it as they start to get older or not. And that's been an interesting thing for me to see too, just as far as like how my peers act now versus how they acted 20 years ago, and what like wild cards are in there. And there's a lot of consistency. A lot of the people, it's like, oh, that makes sense for that guy, that girl. But others, you're like, oh, okay, that's happening to them now.
Yeah. Well, all it takes is one come to Jesus moment to like completely flip the switch and become religious. So I hope I don't have something so drastic happen that I automatically 180. But I don't know.
When you see a priest in public, like if you were to accidentally bump into a priest, would you say, I'm sorry, Father?
I think if I bumped into them, yeah, I'd just say sorry. I wouldn't go out of my way to be like, to call them Father.
It's very like, it's equivalent as like 85th Street and step on it. You know what I mean? It's like it's a thing that people don't seem like they do anymore. But if I were to be around Hillary, I'd make sure to, if we were in a convenience store and we saw a man of the cloth, I'd be like, morning, Father.
You would? You go out of your way?
I would, to make Hillary uncomfortable.
Do you think that a priest feels uncomfortable whenever they're not around the church?
No. You think they are?
I'm just saying, if I was a priest, I'd be really insecure all the time when I'm not at the church.
Why?
Priests have a bad rep. And also, I feel like it'd be giving off... I would act different if I saw a priest in public. Not necessarily saying I'm doing anything wrong or bad, but it would just make me a little uncomfortable. And from my experience, if I were to be a priest, I feel like I'd be making people uncomfortable. It's just weird. It's weird seeing a priest not in the church, like seeing a teacher not at school.
Well, but the priest doesn't always wear priest clothes. I
know, but just you only 90% of the time you see them in priest clothes, so you just kind of like put them in the priest box.
Well, 100% of the time, because you wouldn't know they were a priest if they were not wearing the priest clothes.
Yeah, you're correct.
Unless you know the priest and you're like, hey,
they're always wearing that thing with
Father
like
John,
the white mock neck underneath their shirts at all times. That's
really?
Kind of like that's when I see them out in public.
When you see them.
Yeah, there was an eerie night. I was young and my mom was hosting Bunko night, which is a game.
Bunko.
It's like a game that moms play.
It's bingo, but bunko?
It's called Bunko. It's basically a synonym for bingo in this story. Some game night. She was hosting it, and I was upstairs with my older sister, and she made me watch a scene from Chucky. I didn't like that. I was like 5. I ran downstairs screaming and crying, and I go to grab my mother. She picks me up, and she was in the middle of a conversation with our priest in our kitchen. And that was weird. It was weird to see him in our kitchen. He was invited to Bunko night. What
was worse for you, Chucky or the priest in your house?
Chucky.
This reminds me of Baby Reindeer a little bit when he comes home and Martha's in the house.
And the priest is trying to fuck me.
Oh, Baby Reindeer.
Ooh, Ryan, I didn't see you at communion.
Look at your baby reindeer.
You need to get on your knees and give me 4 Our Fathers.
Your bone structure should be illegal.
With a jawline like that.
What a disturbing show, but a very good one. The other night I was on stage.
Wait, that's the perfect review.
Yeah.
Disturbing show, but a good one.
But a very good one.
Yeah.
I was talking to, I don't know where I was going with this, but I was on stage being like, I could see that happening to me. What happened to him with the writer guy. you just want the success so badly that you're like, all right, all I have to do is this weird, I don't want to ruin the show for anybody.
Yeah.
And then the entire crowd was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, all right, I'll land the plane here.
Yeah.
Took me a second to dig out of that one, but
Yeah, it's fun. The phenomenon
phenomenon is the singular
Okay. Well, the phenomenon,
of what?
but phenomenon is the correct.
It's depending on what you're about to say. What is the phenomenon?
The phenomenon is the show.
Yes.
The phenomenon of the show. I already forgot. Whatever. I was just gonna say that. It's one of those shows where everyone. Actually, I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. Forget
Yeah.
it.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Speaking of little pranks to make Hillary uncomfortable, this morning I got her pretty good. I walked her to her Uber. And I opened the door for her, and I peered into the car, and I went, "Do you take good care of her, all right?"
Oh God.
And Hillary goes, "He's joking." And I was like, "You have a good day." She's like, "He's kidding." I'm like, "All right, you guys have a good day."
Ugh. Did he look at you? Did
He didn't know what the fuck was going on. He may have been on a phone call in his
You're just
left
fucking with her.
AirPod. Yeah, I just like being an earnest, sort of Ned Flanders-like member of society sometimes around her. It makes her quite uncomfortable. It's
That
a
is
lot of
fun. I have a little bit of a predicament.
Oh, do you? Lynch, you appear to have quite a few predicaments these days.
Yeah, I've been very angry lately.
You've been taking steroids, and it's showing.
I've been spending too much time at my desk and aimlessly scrolling through the internet that when I do get outside, I typically am just angry. I went to get pizza.
Where were you going?
Went to Feeney. It's a popular pizza spot in Brooklyn. And
Fini?
Fini. I went to go to Feeney, and their seating arrangements, they have a couple stools inside, and they have green lawn chairs outside. Vic and I get in line, and we see that all the chairs are taken. It's very busy. All 8 of them outside. People are
What
sitting
time
in them.
of day?
It's at night.
Okay.
It's like around 7. People are eating. And we get inside, and we see 2 girls standing in front of us, waiting in line. They're both holding green lawn chairs. So they took the chairs before placing their order.
How big are these chairs?
They're a regular lawn chair,
Like
that.
it's that size.
But they fold. They fold
Oh,
like a
okay.
beach
So
chair.
they folded the chairs that the establishment had provided and brought them in.
Yes. So I mean, I'm really perplexed on this one because on one side of the coin, I'm impressed and I respect the move to take the chair. On the other side, if I were to be staying with Victoria and we were ordering in front of them and then we had no place to sit after getting our pizza and they didn't have pizza but a place to sit, I'd be very angry and offended that they took those chairs before ordering. So I don't really know how to feel about that, but it made me feel.
Here's a piece of advice for you, Lynch. Anytime you have an opportunity to opt out of the dispute, take it. It make your life a lot more pleasant. So, because of the fact that they were in front of you in line, and therefore it wouldn't have mattered whether or not they took the chairs, they were going to get to the chairs before you. You're allowed to stand down there.
Yeah.
Now, this is what we can hope for at this lovely pizza place, that the fucking guys working there will tell people that they can't do that. That's
Yeah.
when you need the sort of the chair umpire to step in.
The chair umpire. It's just one of those unwritten rules where it could go either way. You could argue either way on that. And Vic and I weren't even planning on staying.
What are the two arguments?
That it was
That you're allowed
that it's
to take the
fair
chairs?
game. That it's fair game to take the chairs, and that you deserve the electric chair for doing something so outlandish.
Here's a better plan. Why not have one person get the pizza and the other person sit in the chair and save the other chair? I think saving the other chair is more appropriate than folding them up and bringing them inside.
Yeah, I don't even. I'm gonna play devil's advocate of hatred here. I don't like that move either.
Okay.
Saving the chair. Let's say I'm a tourist and I've walked all day. I went to all the museums and I want to stop in Brooklyn for a slice of pizza because that's what people told me that I should do while I'm in the city.
Are you staying in Brooklyn?
I'm going out of my way, and I've been walking all day. Got 14,000 steps. And the last thing I want to do is to enjoy a bottle of Coke and a slice of pizza from this cool, trendy spot that people have told me I just gotta go to. You walk in there, you get a slice, and you see a chair, and next to that empty chair is a girl that says to you when you try to sit in it, hey, I'm saving this seat. That would piss me off.
Dude, I don't know, man. I mean, to me, it's like,
She have the right?
I think she does. You guys can let us know what you think. But for example, if I'm sitting at a table and there's 3 chairs at the table, I'm allowed to save the table for people. That's totally normal. So in this situation, I get that maybe there's no tables with the chairs and they're kind of scattered, but I think that saving the chair, it feels like, is slightly more normal than folding them up and bringing them inside. I get that maybe it's a little bit of a power move. It's annoying, but like, I don't think that I would be mad. But maybe I'm just more tolerant than you, Lynch, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
You are. No, I'm way too young to be this bitter, but I like, unless it's a restaurant and there's a server racing to the chair or racing to the table and there's a server is totally fair. But
So
it just
is
really
this a trendy
me.
spot?
Yeah.
This is a spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been open for a little over a year
And
now.
it's popping typically.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that there is not some sort of chair ruling in place.
I don't know. But you know, it's going to become a thing. And luckily I didn't say anything, so it didn't become a problem, but someone's going to be pissed off more than I was. And they're going to say something. It's going to become a thing. I hope something happens.
So this is the move. Again, I know I said this already, but I'm going to elaborate on it. So you don't have to worry in that situation because it doesn't affect you, right? I've noticed that's annoying what those girls are doing, but it doesn't affect me. So you don't have to be the sort of vigilante, making sure everybody's behaving properly. You should only take problems with things when they affect you directly. And when they do, say something. Who gives a fuck, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Vic will be a little upset initially, but I bet later she'll be impressed. After the initial sort of overwhelming feeling of discomfort fades, she will feel attracted and encouraged by her man that he stood up for their rights when she needed them to.
That's what happened with the bagel situation. I spoke up.
Yes, you did.
And it
And it worked
yielded
out.
a positive outcome for us.
Yielded bagels.
Vic wasn't happy with it.
Wait,
though.
was it Leon's? Which
Leo's.
Leo's.
Um,
Where is that? The one on Bedford?
No, that one's deeper.
Okay.
I don't know what street's deeper.
Gotcha.
But like this, I don't know. Like this one, I felt compelled to almost say something. And I do have a limit. Like I was biking over here today and I was at a red light in Greenpoint and I heard screaming and yelling and it sounded like a fight was about to break out. I didn't know what, but I decided to mind my own business. I was right by it. I didn't know what it was about, but these guys were getting into a little bit of a scuffle.
Interesting.
And I decided to just get to Julio's.
Nice. Well done.
I really wanted to like
Get involved in the fight.
I love getting involved because I have nothing going on.
So you're going to stop and do what? Be like, all right, what happened here? And then you will join the fight once you take a side?
No, I want to I want to get as close as possible and instigate and watch something happen without getting physically involved.
I've heard that there's
be there.
Some people get adrenaline from being near a fight.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I want you to fight. I want to see it happen. And then I want to be able to ride my bike away afterwards and then talk about it. Because I have nothing going on.
I'm concerned for you, Ryan. This is concerning.
You know what? I bet a lot more people would be like, you know what? Deep down, yeah, I agree with that.
Unclear. Okay. Let me know what you think about this scenario. I'm in the steam room the other day, the gym, and a guy walks over to the sort of water bottle and he's going to spray in the area, which by the way is sort of unclear where that is sometimes. Like you see people spraying the thing to try to get the steam room to start. But it's not like necessarily obviously the spray area. It'll be like some sensor, but it doesn't always work. But then some guys will dump the whole bottle and then it will work. It's kind of confusing. So anyway, this guy approached the sensor area. He picked up the bottle. And as a sort of courtesy, he wasn't intending to actually ask for anyone's permission, but as a courtesy, he goes, do you mind if and we all know what that means. That means that he's going to, in the steam room at least, he's going to spray, which is going to activate the steam and make the steam come back on. Mm-hmm. And I've never seen what happened next happen. The guy sitting next to me, sort of like across from me, as the guy standing who's about to start spraying, asked, do you mind if the guy replies and goes, actually, would you mind if we just let it go on its normal cycle? To which the guy holding the bottle just went, threw his arms up in the air, and then walked back over to his area.
In the little steam room.
Yes. It was pretty insane. And I think the guy flailed because he didn't want to like look like a bitch, realizing that other people got a say in that. And I sort of agree with the guy who was sitting. I kind of liked that because I hate when people manipulate the thing to be hotter because they want it to be hotter. Like, what if I can't handle if it's hotter?
Uh-huh.
And I was talking to you about this when we went to the sauna because the Hat Man, I've told you about the Hat Man.
I sat next to the Hat Man.
You did.
I sat right next to the Hat Man.
Lynch sat next. This man wears a little hat, and sometimes he'll hold a towel and he'll spin it to make the sauna hotter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's super obnoxious, and it sucks for it to be hotter. But I don't want to like get into a fight during my relaxation time. But then I feel like a bitch that I didn't be like, hey, can you stop doing that, dude? It's like really fucking hot and annoying. I'm sorry. It's great that you're a superhuman, but like I'm not, and like I want to enjoy the normal. If you want to do that, buy your own fucking sauna, dude.
Mm-hmm. And it's double awkward because it's such a small space.
Yes.
So I'm surprised that this scenario that you're just explaining played out the way that it did. The confidence to say no.
You know the comic Luis Gomez?
No.
Luis J. Gomez, is a pretty successful guy in comedy. He told me a story where he got permanently banned from Equinox for something like this. He fought some guys in the steam room, and they clearly egged him on, like they were wrong, but he like also overreacted. So it was like easy for those guys to act like he was the one who was wrong. I hate the idea of that scenario. Not only is it unjustified, but like it reminds me of my childhood where my brother would provoke me and then I would beat his ass and then he'd be crying and then I'd just be in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, like he shot me in the face with a Nerf gun at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I literally watched him come around the corner, cock the gun, do this. And before I knew what was happening, there was a Nerf bullet flying at my forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Hit me right between the eyes too.
And that set you off?
I chased him and beat the shit out of him, dude. Obviously. I mean, it's standard older, younger brother shit.
When you beat the shit out of your brother growing up, did you punch? Was it pushing, shoving, tearing of the collar of his t-shirt? How did you beat the fuck out of your brother?
I think I would punch him, but like never in the face, never in the sort of delicate regions.
Mm-hmm.
Just sort of gut punches, maybe punch his arm, push him, maybe like slap him, but like not his face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was always sort of a limit as to what I would do. And I didn't realize that like some brothers actually would like fist fight and beat the fuck out of each other and like be bleeding and shit.
Yeah.
And I didn't like, I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like we would never come close to going there. And I would never leave him with any sort of like permanent injury by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, maybe some bruises. Pretty standard brother stuff, man.
Yeah. We were big scratchers. And I'd claw into his arm and dig my nails deep inside. He'd do the same thing too. But yeah, he'd do the same stuff. Instigate and like, what do you expect? You end up losing every single time that you get, he starts it and you get in trouble for it. One time I stuck my brother really pissed me off and I got home from baseball practice and my sock was covered in dirt from my cleats and I put it in his mouth. I pinned him down and I put it in his mouth. And I think he's kind of fucked up because of that.
Did you get in trouble?
I was able to talk my way out. I was like, he's making that up. I would never do something.
Really?
I got out of a lot of like.
You just completely lied and he had to live with that. That's tough.
My sister and I would lock him in the basement.
Oh my God.
That was a fun tag team. That's when my sister really bonded. Yeah, I fucked up my brother a little bit, but we're good friends now.
All right, so Lynch and I, well, this was Lynch's idea, but I liked it. I liked it a lot, and I think we're going to do it. Turkey of the Week. We're going to find videos on the internet where we believe people are being turkeys, and we are going to then play them on the show. And if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to actually see the video. If not, we'll try to include audio-friendly clips as well.
Yeah. So here are the ground rules if you guys want to play with us. So every week we'll do that. I'll bring one, Julio's going to bring one. And then if you guys can DM us or tag us in videos that you feel deem worthy of a Turkey of the Week nomination, we'll pick one and then we'll decide amongst the three which one wins that week. Just one rule to make sure there's no like copywritten music in there because then we can't play it on the show. But send us those ones anyway.
Yes.
So
And by that, copywritten music, like if it's a song by like Dua Lipa, that's a copywritten song. I think if it's just like some sort of melody, it's kind of unclear.
yeah, we'll figure that out.
figure all
but
that
for the general rule of thumb, let's try not to do crazy music. They can sing it.
People can be singing, but there
people
can't be the actual song.
Yeah, like the physical song. So someone could do a cover of a Dua Lipa song, but you guys get it. I think everyone gets it.
Cool.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. So this is a new movement that I've discovered, and it's pretty...
And what's the caption?
The caption is just like hashtags, but this is a thing called the Tarzan movement.
What are the hashtags?
Orangutan, Sumatra, Katambe. I don't know. But people are climbing trees and walking around on all fours like chimps. This is a new movement that is happening. I nominate this guy. Listen to this.
He's really up there. He's like deep in the jungle.
This man is on all fours on the edge of a tree, breathing heavily and going, "Ooh, ooh, 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 ooh."
Now-
This is crazy, dude.
Maybe this is his truth. He's doing what he wants to do.
Bro, I don't know. I guess. But like that doesn't...
Do you think that guy has a corporate job?
I don't know,
Do you think
bro.
he goes into work on Monday and he's just like, "Hey, I'm Eric"?
I don't
And
think so,
then,
bro.
What are you doing this weekend? I'm going to the jungle.
This guy has a whole page of himself being an ape.
That could be somebody's coworker.
Bro, I wonder how this guy got here. Maybe he
You have a
like
big
started
following?
as a 1,000,000 followers or something. Dude, this is so crazy. But yeah, I guess good for him, bro. This video has 86 million views.
Okay, so maybe the joke's on us.
Maybe, bro. I don't know. I wonder how many people are watching those. Ironically, this guy's getting a ton of action. But anyway,
Can we just read the top comment on that one?
yeah. Bruh, get down and file your taxes. That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's good.
Remember, he set up his iPhone to do this. That's good, bro. What do you got?
All right, so this one is hitting on a guy's girlfriend. You tell me who you think the turkey is after the fact.
Excuse me, are you Lucky Charms? Because you look magically delicious.
What'd you say?
I said she looks good today.
Man, get the fuck out of here.
What?
Go.
I was just saying you look good today. All right. I was just saying you have a nice girlfriend. She looks good today.
Let me call you back.
All right. What?
I said fuck off.
Bro, okay. I think that the dude, like, catcalling is the turkey.
Yeah?
Yeah, bro. Like, it's like an overreaction to reply, but I think that dude is fully within his rights. There's nothing more annoying than some fucking annoying piece of shit fucking with you for a stupid YouTube video, being antagonistic. He wants to get punched in the face to make the video better.
I think he does. And I typically don't like videos like this.
I don't either.
Like, they make me cringe. I do think, and I didn't search for this, and I kind of stumbled upon this one. I think the turkey in this situation is actually the boyfriend, solely for this move. It looks like he's not on the phone.
I noticed that too.
He's not on the phone. That's embarrassing. That's a tough situation. I don't like those videos, typically. So, of course, put it on the episode.
Moral of the story, if you're fucking with people in an antagonistic way to try to give people who are enjoying their day, you're filming them without them knowing, that's fucked up, bro. You're a fucking turkey, period.
Yeah, I don't get the allure to those prank videos where you're disrupting large groups of people. And you've done pranks for, you're a big prankster.
Yeah, but we get release forms signed after if it was going to be on TV, and
Yeah.
I'll fuck with Hill Dog, but I know what people are comfortable with. I'm not just going into grocery stores and making old people look stupid. You know what I mean? It's so fucked up.
I saw a video of this guy runs into a college lecture with 100+ students. It was a big lecture hall. And he just runs in and he's screaming. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm late. I'm sorry, I'm late. And then he falls down the stairs and just like
awesome.
drops like all of his papers and throws them up. And then the professor's like
that was a prank.
It was that was the prank. And the professor's furious. And then
The professor knows it's a prank?
I don't think he's not in on the prank.
Oh, so why was he furious?
Because this guy interrupted his class.
Oh.
And so I don't like watching that exchange where the younger person is fucking with the older person. Yes. And he's like, no, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. And he's like, okay, I'll let this slide if you didn't mean to do it. But if you did, you just interrupted my class. I'm going to write you up. Can I see your student ID? And then he said his name was like Bubble Wubbles or something like that.
So the kid probably wasn't actually in the school?
No, probably not. And then the professor's like, you're full of shit. And he's like, no, I'm not. I'm full of water. Like total.
Is that like Nelk Boys? Is this
it's
like
not.
an OG?
It's not the Nelk Boys, but it's just some random guy. When I see those videos, I usually swipe away. I can't watch them.
Dude, I saw a great thing. This is like not quite the same, but I saw a video of Buzz Aldrin, who may not be alive anymore. One of the people who landed on the moon the first time with Neil Armstrong, whatever. Some dude like pulls up on him when he's going into some establishment, and he's like accusing him of never stepping foot on the moon. Is he dead? Is he dead?
No, he's 94.
Wow. And dude, Buzz Aldrin, who's like must be 75 or something when this happens, the guy's like, yo, you never landed on the moon. You're a liar. He just fucking punches him in the face. It's amazing.
72-year-old Buzz Aldrin punches a moon landing conspiracy theorist in the face.
Watch it. This is great.
Is the punch on video?
Yeah, it's awesome. What?
Nothing. This is a segment that we'll never do on the podcast, but when I opened up Twitter, the video that it showed me made me think that maybe we should do a segment called Watch People Die.
Oh my God.
And once a week we see a video of somebody get decapitated.
Dude, classic Lynch.
Oh, here we go. I just had it.
Oh, I found it. Here.
Is this it?
Yes, that's it. We found it at the same time. It's crazy.
Ooh.
The old man still got it. This is when?
It has to be about 20
80s?
years ago.
90s? Nice. So Buzz was
Early 2000s.
it's like Tyson taking down Jake Paul there, which
That's a good punch.
it's a good punch, bro. He's squared up. He's got the left up. Boom.
That's nice. I don't know if I have it in me to throw a punch at somebody.
I think I've done it maybe one time.
I need to get beat up. I got punched in the gut once for instigating some guy at my high school football game. And
Like in the crowd?
In the crowd, yeah.
A random guy.
No, a guy I knew.
Okay.
I think he didn't like me, and I think I said, like, excuse me, bud. And then he punched me in the gut. Sucker punch.
Not your bud.
I get, yeah. I don't know what it was. I didn't expect it, too. That's why I really knocked the wind out of me. But that's really it.
Well, it sounds like you got more coming, Lynch, if you keep it up.
I don't care.
This behavior.
Show up next week with a black eye.
We were ready to go.
I'm like, the wedding was fun.
I'm going to give you the line that my boss gave me when I walked into the office with a black eye when I was 22. He goes, well, I would say the version to you that would be applicable. I'd be like, we're not in Jersey anymore, Lynch.
Oh, that's... What was... He was your boss?
Yeah, he said, we're not in Boston anymore, Colorado.
When I was working in Stamford, there was a guy. He just got promoted to director, which is a synonym for manager at our company. And great guy, respected guy. And then like we did a group huddle on that Friday at 4:00, and it was announced that he got promoted. Big celebration, a little happy hour afterwards. That Monday morning, he comes in with a black eye.
Jesus.
That's a bad look.
That's bad.
How do you navigate that?
It's one of those things where, like, if you're a kid and you have a black eye, like, well, granted, there's a chance that at school they're going to think your parents kicked the shit out of you. But if you, like, fell on the playground, like, you don't realize that something can be true but appear to be a different way. So, like, when you're an adult and you're sick, you're, like, afraid to say you're sick because it sounds like you're lying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or if you're throwing up, you're afraid that people are going to think it's because you're fucked up. Because who the fuck is throwing up? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the same thing. How do you walk into the office with a black eye and be like, oh, I fell down the stairs again, dude?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I get anxious if I have a pimple,
Yeah.
let alone a punch in the face. There was an episode of Full House where this little boy's hanging out with little Michelle, and I think he had an abusive parent, and she was asking, like, what happened to you? And he's like, I walked into a door named Dad.
Good old door named Dad.
And then Bob Saget got him in jail. Wholesome show.
Wholesome show indeed. Drove by the house last time I was in San Francisco.
Oh, nice.
Which, by the way, speaking of other cities, we got some shows coming up. We have the 1st of June in Boston, 2 shows. Lynch will be in attendance, making a guest appearance.
That's gonna be great.
Performing sets on both shows. The 19th, I'm in Portland, Oregon. The 20th, I'm doing this outdoor free show at Mill Valley. Now, if you come, you need to promise me that you'll still buy tickets when I'm actually in San Francisco at a real, not a real thing, but meaning a thing where I actually am rewarded for selling tickets. Because this thing will be heavily attended anyway. I don't need to promote it. But if you're just dying to see me, you can come to that. Then the 3rd of August, I'm in Pasadena, and the 20th and the 21st of September, Coastal Creative, St. Pete, Florida, my hometown, effectively. And also New York City, July 18th at the Stand. So come to a show. Let's hang. Let's do it. Lynch, what do you got coming up?
Check me out at Ron is Really Polite. Email us at oopsthepodcast@gmail.com. DM us, either me or Julia or the Oops account, your submissions for Turkey of the Week. I think this would be fun if we kept this going. And help us out sharing our posts with any friends. And we really appreciate that. We'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye.